Hello everyone, this is me going through a force negative of a hollow body hold, starting in the most difficult position, which is a full hollow body hold. As you can see here, I'm depressing my rib cage down, curling my tailbone up, squeezing my legs together, and thinking about driving my lower back into the floor. Something really important for the hollow body hold is our breath work. And when we think about breathing in, the tendency is to fill the belly up and drive the belly button towards the ceiling. What this will potentially do is create a curve in the spine, which means we lift it up and we just put too much pressure in the lower back in this position. The way we keep the lower body sticking to the floor is by breathing laterally. So we're expanding our abdominal cavity, our lungs laterally, and we should feel the sides of our stomach essentially like spread out, and that lower back will stay glued to the floor if we imagine breathing into our stomach in that lateral motion, expanding ourselves laterally rather than filling the belly up and pushing the belly button towards the ceiling. So starting in the hardest possible position. The great thing about this video is if you just watch it in reverse or take it in reverse, you will see the level 1 to whatever this level is of progression. So anyone can do this exercise. You can start off with using the variation that you find most challenging. It's just that I find this position most challenging, and as the rep goes on, I have to manipulate the position of my body to stay in the rep, and that's what you're going to see here. So I start in this hollow body position, maximum effort, driving the lower back into the ground, contracting my core, which is really important. This isn't just a hold. Each time I exhale, I'm imagining that I've got like a corset around my stomach, and each time I exhale, I'm thinking about tightening that corset even more. As you can see, as I'm going through the lift, my arms are starting to come up, my legs are starting to come in, and I'm slowly making the exercise easier and easier. However, because of the amount of fatigue I have accrued in this position, I'm still working in this position just as hard as I was at the start. Okay, so the level of intensity that I am feeling here in the exercise is still 100%, but I've enabled myself to stay in the rep by manipulating the position of my body. So we continue to make it, continue to make it easier by bringing the arms in and the legs in. I start to bend my knees a little bit. Those arms start to lift more directly above my head rather than out behind me. Still driving the lower back into the ground. You can see how hard I'm working to stay in the rep. The important thing here is that I'm working at 100% of my strength capacity. Now, this far into the rep, that looks like this isometric dead bug position rather than the hollow body hold. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what position I'm in. What matters is that I'm working at 100% of my capacity in that moment. So you can see that I've really gone through like the 10 checkpoints of what we usually use for the concentric portion of a lift by saying, if I stay in this position that I'm currently using, this variation, I will fail the rep. Therefore, I need to manipulate my body just enough to stay in the rep and be working at 100% of my capacity. Then you reassess yourself a few seconds down the line and you say, now if I stay in this position, I will fail the rep. So I need to adjust it a little bit more, bring the knees in a little bit more. The entire time you are trying to make that bit of work last as long as possible before your muscles eventually give out, or usually the lowering phase of a lift becomes too difficult. You end the rep once your battle with